Salutations, spooks, spirits, and specters, and welcome back to Shivers. Currently in the museum office, and I'm about to explore Dr. Windlenot's desk. So, here we have a scrapbook, Professor Hubert Windlenot. Windlenot does it again, Sir I keep wanting to say Humbert. Hubert Windlenot has been asked to withdraw his name from the Royal Society. This latest request by the Society was prompted by Windlenot's presentation of a griffin found in a tar pit in Turkey. Sir John S. Brown presided over the Society. President of the Society made the following statement. Sir Hubert Windlenot is infamous in the 20th century for his capacity to embrace even the tallest of tales as proof of his own theories. This so-called griffin was fabricated from a pterodactyl, a saber-toothed tiger, and a raptor, all found conveniently in the same pit. He is a charlatan, not an archaeologist, and should not be considered one. You will remember, dear reader, that only last year Windlenot funded a major exhibition to search for the entrance to a subterranean world and tried to prove that Stonehenge was built by space aliens. This writer admits that Windlenot's theories sound a bit far-fetched, but I, for one, hope he continues his research. Museum groundbreaking held Saturday. Mount Pleasant Mayor Jim Wilton and the President of the Chamber of Commerce, Bob Taylor, assist Sir Hubert Windlenot in the groundbreaking of Professor Windlenot's Museum of the Strange and Unusual, scheduled to open in the spring of 1961. Museum of Broken Dreams. Sir Hubert Windlenot appeared in Mount Pleasant 11 years ago. He brought a breath of fresh air to this tired college town. After teaching just one semester at the college, he took on the title of professor and announced he would build a museum that would bring the wonders of the world to our little towns. Our hopes soared. This meant new jobs during the construction of the museum and a surge of tourism to boost our economy. Our hopes soon died, however, when the professor announced that only outside contractors would be used to keep the secrets of the museum from being exposed. Then, just yesterday, he announced that the museum, which had already been 5 years overdue, would require at least another 3 years to complete. I, for one, am tired of having my hopes and dreams for a better Mount Pleasant dashed on the rocks of Professor Windlenot's museum. I believe it will never open. And this was written in April 4th of 1970, so that's a good 9 years after. Geoffrey P. Windlenot, son of absent Sir Hubert T. Windlenot and Lady Mary Elizabeth Windlenot, will be attending Oxford in the fall. The Windlenots have not only attended Oxford for 7 generations, but have been generous benefactors as well. Geoffrey will follow in his grandfather's footsteps, Sir William Windlenot, Earl of Runcorn, and study banking, hoping to work for the family firm upon graduation. Artifacts sold. The personal possessions of Siegfried Schwartz, who died 23 years ago, were sold yesterday to Sir Hubert Windlenot, who offered and paid an undiscovered amount for the entire collection. Officials said he was interested in never resolved rumors surrounding the mysterious death of Mr. Schwartz. When questioned, the buyer said, "I believe his demise is related to the pottery vessels that I hope are still included among his possessions. These vessels have reportedly been linked to the deaths of several individuals, each found shriveled and mummified. I am interested in the vessels from an archaeological viewpoint, however. Sir Windlenot plans to exhibit the vessels in a museum he has founded 7 years after the previous." Wow. And that's the end of the little scrapbook here. Oh, we have a little drill here. May 14th, 1972. Dear Hubert, my dear Hubert, I want to thank you for resigning from the Royal Society and avoiding the shame. I'm sorry. Some letters, my brain is like, I don't recognize this. It's cursive, so it takes some letters like the V. The V here, the V going into the O. The V going into the O kind of threw my brain for a little bit. And avoiding the shame of being publicly dismissed. While our friends have not forgotten how you embarrassed us, they at least have the courtesy to refrain from mentioning your indiscretions in public. Had the Griffin been your only lapse, I think Sir Brown would have dismissed it. But you were consistently presenting things like curses of tombs, a mummified cyclops, proof of life in outer space, and a unicorn. I know you felt slighted by your colleagues, but that was why you left England. But Hubert, your reputation is that of a trickster, not a scientist. I'm worried that our son might not be accepted into the proper social circles. Which brings me to the point of this letter. It would be better for Joffrey if you cease all communications with him. His future is far too important to risk jeopardizing it with the dreams of a father digging up some myth from a desert tomb. I trust that you will do the honorable thing and leave Joffrey alone while you play with your museum. With regards, Mary Elizabeth Windlenot. So I find that kind of strange that they would be upset that Hubert didn't show up for Joffrey's wedding. I mean, I understand that. That could be alarming. But, you know, when you have the wife here, the wife sending a letter saying, just cut yourself off from your son. Why are you being upset? Aha! We have our first item here. Our first talisman. Can I not? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I forget. You just move your cursor around. So. But as you can see, I guess you can't see. But the bottom here is kind of like a triangular shape with some rounded corners. So we'll be looking for a pot that has that kind of same breakdown. And there's nothing in the Scrapbook. We can't do with the bone, but we have this wonderful tape recorder that I will allow to play. Well, let's rewind it first. Ah, tape recorders. Remember when these things used to be around? Do you even remember cassette tapes? I remember cassette tapes.
30th of September 1980. Returning from Africa, I discovered something profoundly disturbing. Someone has been here. Furniture has been tipped over. And the book, Egyptian Hieroglyphics Explained, not in its place in the library, but face down here on the office floor. And oddly, one of the pages is torn out. And I feel the presence of... I'm not sure. I must investigate the second floor. The puzzles. When I created them, I never stopped to think they would be an obstacle in the event of some terrible occurrence. The Ixupi. Someone has released them from their vessels. Never has anything been so evil. A name written in the lift. Merrick. Who is he? One of the missing youngsters? Here in my museum? If so, are they both here? Can they still be alive? Evil entities attacking from everywhere, robbing me of my life essence. I can't seem to find the right vessel for each Ixupi. Without it, they can't be captured. Without it, I am doomed. Get back! Get back! Get out of my museum! Oh, I wish I never brought you here.
Alas, poor Windlenot. He has been slain. Nothing over here. Okay, so let's go forward here. We have ourselves a nice newspaper to take a peek at. Is this the boy who's been following me? Circled. Teenagers still missing. Police baffled. Oh, politics. I don't care about politics. Tornado hits local trailer park. Never seen nothing like it, says mayor. Police are baffled by the disappearance of Beth Nelson and Merrick Campbell. A witness reported last seeing the pair leaving together from the high school on Friday. While the police are treating the disappearance as a runaway, students at the school insisted that the pair were not close. No way would he run off with her. Beth was always following Merrick around, but I think he just put up with her. She wasn't very popular, said cheerleader Stephanie Stiles. Police first became aware of missing teenagers early Saturday morning when Merrick's father, John Campbell, reported the disappearance of his son. Recently relocated from New York City, Mr. Campbell teaches chemistry at the local university. I know there has been foul play. Merrick would never run away as he plans to attend Harvard next fall. Mr. Campbell stated. Mrs. Rachel Nelson, at Mount Pleasant native and mother of the missing girl, was working Friday night at Bob's Tavern and was not aware of her own daughter's absence until the police came to question her on Saturday. The girl's father is living out of state, and the police have reported that he has no knowledge of his daughter's whereabouts. If anyone has any information leading to the location of the two teenagers, please contact the police or the newspaper. Giles Blatt. Interesting. Okay. Yep, furniture has been tipped over. Okay, so we have an Ixupi here. The musical cue here. And my own prior knowledge of having played this game so many times, I know exactly where it is. It's right here in the fireplace. The puffing of the bellows, that means it's right there in the fireplace. So it's right there in the fireplace. It's taking possession of the ashes, so... We'll be avoiding that for now, and take a step forward here. Yes, thank you, timer. Thank you, timer. I shall be exploring this ever-wonderful mystery that is... Alley-oop. What have we here? An elevator, you say? Well, let's explore where this elevator takes us next time. So, thank you all very much for watching, and ciao for now. Ciao for now.